その深い深い森の中にこの世界とは相反する存在の彼がいた。
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
In today's podcast, we're covering the first 2 seasons of the anime Mashle, Magic and Muscles, because we know it's going to be a third one already.
Yes, and the show serves as a satire of Harry Potter and the magic systems of Shonen anime, and it follows the adventures of Mashle Burnedead. I hope that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, literally that's how you pronounce it.
As he enrolls in a magic school, only he was never born with magic in the first place, like Asta.
Yeah. But before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and get you with some future podcasts and one of Paul's videos.
Thank you for joining us today, subscribing to our channels. We appreciate you so much.
Mm-hmm.
So this one we actually started quite a while ago watching it, and then we ended up stopping for reasons with streaming problems. Yes. And then we ended up going back to it when they started having it running on Toonami.
Yes.
And we were like, oh, this is good.
Right. And then that got interrupted when they announced it was going to Crunchyroll. They just stopped airing it altogether on Toonami. It's okay. It's no longer allowed to be aired on Toonami. We're going to have it fully on Crunchyroll. And people were just staring like we were watching it every week. It's like, oh, no, it's canceled. You're going to watch it on Crunchyroll now. It's like, you really don't like what's watching every week, do you?
Don't like us having fun.
Oh.
And then Netflix actually got the first season.
Yes.
And we just went ahead to Netflix and watched the rest of the first season, and we went to Crunchyroll for the remainder of it.
Yes.
And we sure wish we had watched it when it originally came out, because it's so much fun.
Yes.
And so many great voice actors, including Alex Lee voicing Mashle, which really surprised me. I was like, are you kidding?
Right. You were saying, well, what did you see? He's in everything?
Yes.
He's the James Marsden of voice acting. Yes. So when we first watched it, we kind of didn't like it, and it was only because we were affected by the constant stopping and buffering and things that it was having issues with. Now going back, we could see it uninterrupted, in English, no issues and glitches. Now we can say that we can understand why it has such a following when it came out and people were loving it, because it's one of the most ridiculous and fun animes so far they've made.
Yes. Now, if you're joining us and you're not familiar with Mashle, Magic and Muscles, as we mentioned, it's an anime, but it's also from a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Hajime Komodo. And it has 18 volumes.
Okay.
And it ran originally from January of 2020 to July of 2023, with the anime running originally from April of 2023 to March of 2024. And as Rascal mentioned, you're getting a third season.
Yes. That means the manga went on for a while and just recently ended, technically.
Now, some of the elements of the anime do remind you of other shows, as you mentioned, as we mentioned Harry Potter, but also, as I mentioned, Black Clover.
Right.
And there are elements of a couple other shows.
And Dr. Stone in a way. And unlike some shows or movies, they're fun when you can pick out the references in there. Now, some are more obvious than others, but they do it in a way where you just kind of laugh at all these characters, amalgamations of other characters from other shows, but still, they're done in their own way, and they're still fun to watch. The biggest one being one of the leaders of one of those secret groups ends up just looking like anime Harry Potter, and it's one of the funniest. Like, this is just Harry Potter without saying Harry Potter, just straight up.
Yes. And there's also one that looks like Reiki from Skate the Infinity.
Yes. And it's like, wait a minute, we just a crossover and we don't know it.
But it was fun recognizing the characters from other series and seeing how they differed, or they were familiar in the ways their behavior is besides the looks.
Right.
And as you mentioned, it was very similar to Dr. Stone in that the people had the cracks and the lines on their faces.
If they had magic, they had the crack lines, literally, like Dr. Stone. Instead of like Harry Potter's like little lightning bolt birthmark, everybody that had magic just had a big weird mark on their face for somehow. So that was the indication they had magic, and it's actually hilarious.
But so did Mashle.
Right, and they painted on him. It's how they won't notice.
I thought that was funny how it never came off.
Right.
Even when he got wet or things happened, it just stayed on.
It's like permanent ink, I guess.
Yeah, we need some of that for
Right.
makeup and different things.
Right.
And it wasn't tattooed, so it was funny.
Right.
So it was pretty popular when it was out, and also it had one of the most popular openings for the song by Creepy Nuts.
Yes, and you might know them from doing the opening for Dan to Dan.
Bling Bang Bang Born.
Yes, and I know why that not only ended up being part of also the Dan to Dan intro.
So you'll see a little bit of it here, but we're not going to play it so we don't get a claim.
Right.
And we're not going to play a long clip, but if you're familiar with Mashle, you know. If not, this is what it looks like.
Right.
And there's some still pictures. But it was really popular. It got nominated for quite a few awards in categories for a whole lot of awards. Crunchyroll Anime Awards. It got nominated, but it didn't win. At 10th Anime Trending Awards, it won for Comedy Anime of the Year. TikTok First Half Trend Awards, it won for Bling Bling Bang Born.
Of course, yeah.
And Mashle and Muscles Special Award. It won the Yahoo Japan Search Awards for anime category and music category. It won the Hot 100, most streamed songs, most downloaded songs, hot animation, top user generated songs.
Tons of awards.
This is the Billboard Japan Music Awards. Top Global Japan, Top Japan Songs, Top Japan Songs UK, Top Japan Songs South Africa, Top Japan Songs US, Top Japan Songs Brazil.
Wow!
And I'm just gonna stop. It won a whole lot of awards.
It just keeps going.
But the story itself is one you're familiar with. As you mentioned, he doesn't have magic, but he wants to go to the school. And his father doesn't want him to because he's afraid something's going to happen to him.
Yes, and it will because they have this rule.
But the thing we haven't mentioned, which really is silly on our part, he's crazy strong.
Yes, he wasn't born with magic, but I guess is where the muscle part comes in. He trains every day like his One Punch Man, and until you see him in his workout clothes, you can't tell that he has muscles. And he does this ridiculous routine every day to the point where he's Superman.
Like One Punch Man.
Yes. And even funnier is that they have this, well, it's not actually funny, but the way they end up playing with it is funny. They set up in this world where, it's the reverse of Harry Potter, where the individuals who have magic are the special ones. Mm-hmm. Well, in here, only magic users are in this world, and if someone's born without magic, they found out, they kill them on the spot. And it's taken seriously. Like, they don't want anybody without magic being blended into society. So every time they find somebody that is born without magic, they just kill them off. It's illegal for them to live, and it's the darkest part of the series. Mm-hmm. So when Mashle is at the school, and they have to ask him what type of magic he has, because everyone's got a specific type that they're good at. Mm-hmm. But when he has it, he can't ever tell them. It's kind of changing every time. And the funniest part of this is that he finds a way to use his muscles and exercise.
muscle.
Right. Muscle. And exercise to use the magic. Like when he has to fly with the broom, you're wondering how's he gonna do that, and he jumps in the air and he constantly kicks so much where he's hovering, and he said, are you sure he's flying?
And another thing that's great, when he ends up going to the Magic Academy, as I'm going to call it, he ends up making friends because he's alone at home, except for with his dad. Mm-hmm. And again, they're always trying to avoid him being found out and killed because he doesn't have magic.
Right.
When he goes to the school, he ends up making friends, as we mentioned, one that looks like Reiki, and this goofy girl, and he seems to make friends with everyone that you think he'd be enemies with. And of course, that's another, I don't want to say trope, but that's an element with other characters like we mentioned, Asta, Deku, you can just keep going.
Yes.
That they are so pure of heart and they're so helpful and true that they end up making friends with the people they're supposed to be enemies.
Right. And that's a big thing throughout the well, actually both seasons throughout the anime, and especially when one was sent to sort of tear him down or frame him because they want him expelled. They don't know about him not having magic. They just don't like him outdoing everybody, and they don't know he doesn't have magic. And when he generally helps a person that was being picked on that was supposed to mess with him, and he said, yeah, you're really grateful and appreciate you looking out for me and so. He gave him a cream puff and stuff, and the guy starts crying.
And he's always eating cream puffs.
Yes.
He pulls them out of his clothes. It's like, where are you storing all these cream
I was
puffs?
like, he just had one in his mouth. And he said, what is with you and cream puffs? Even at the very beginning, he wants to eat cream puffs. Only the special ones have cream puffs. And you're sitting looking like, what kind of world?
But he has muscles.
All the time.
And you don't see him eat any other food, so you're wondering.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that they claim that the character and his predicaments have been interpreted as a representation or metaphor of neurodivergence.
Really? Well, I'm guessing because his personality, he's
Pretty
this
deadpan.
character. Yes, the character's deadpan. He kind of links everything to being muscles, workout, cream puffs, and he tries to make a lineup, and he does his best to try to branch out, but he has difficulty learning or adjusting, so he kind of does things his own way. Maybe that's what they're equating with. I could be wrong, but you can feel free to explain in the comments.
But again, he's really likable, and as much as the people like him that help him, he helps in the show, you like him watching him.
Yes.
And you're rooting for him and cheering for him. And they also have the headmaster who looks like
Dumbledore.
From Harry Potter.
And his name,
he's cheering for him as well.
And his name is Wahlberg. Another teacher's named Jobs. Every teacher is named after a famous celebrity.
But it's fun. It's interesting. You have harrowing acts. You have plot twists you don't see coming. And he's got this crazy girl who likes him. But we'll go through the cast quickly.
Right.
And mention them. As we mentioned, Mash is voiced by Alex Lee.
Oh my gosh.
We have Finn, who is voiced by Brian Timothy Anderson. He's his roommate. And he's supposed to be the straight man to antics. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, because how crazy he is, but he's supposed to be normal. It's like, no.
And then you have Lance Crown, voiced by Stephen Fu, and he's his true rival.
Oh my gosh. A self-proclaimed true rival.
We have Dot Barrett, voiced by Benjamin Diskin, and he's Mash's self-proclaimed rival.
Another rival.
Yes. And Wahlberg Bagan is voiced by David Lodge.
Oh my god.
Kimpachi himself.
That's actually funny.
I can't think of her name.
Unfortunately, for some reason, why? You'll probably let us know if you happen to be a huge fan of this. You'll probably know.
Yeah, let us know. But she's the blonde you see in a lot of pictures, and she keeps calling him her husband.
And it's like, and I just kind of look around like it's been like a day.
Lemon Irvine.
Okay.
And that's why I say those names, and I went right over her. But yes, she's his self-proclaimed fiance.
Oh my gosh.
And each of them have these really odd magical abilities. They're very specific, very odd. And I think the writer really took care to make sure that they weren't duplicating abilities from other shows.
Right.
So you look at them and go, well, that's that character, that's that
yeah,
character.
because it comes close to being like Demon Slayer until they break it down.
Right. So this is really fun. As we mentioned, it's on Crunchyroll fully, seasons 1 and 2. And season 1 is on Netflix.
Right.
If you haven't watched it, you need to. Fun anime, funniest anime, and action-packed animes you will want to see. As we mentioned, it makes references to other anime, but it's its own. And we're so happy it's coming back for season 3.
Yay!
That was announced a few months ago.
Yes. So if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and looking views for your anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
And if you've watched Mashle, Magic and Muscles, that's a tongue twister. Let us know what you think in the comments. Did you watch it when it originally aired? Were you watching on Toonami like we were when it was canceled abruptly?
Right.
Let us know and tell us what you think. And if you've read the manga, is it a true adaptation? We want to know as well. And again, if you haven't watched it, you're missing out if you haven't.
Yes.
So, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you so much. As always,
you are special. Thank you so much for watching. Rascal Entertainment
and a Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
負ける選択肢も助けられない選択肢も僕にはない。あんたがどれだけ強くても負ける気ないから僕。
マッシュル。